Cosplay Stitch and Seam. I'm Pennon.
I'm Fire.
And I'm David.
Woo!
Yeah.
We're back, baby! Woo!
Yeah. It was a bit longer of a hiatus than we expected, but things kind of went crazy, and hope y'all at home listening are doing okay.
We love you.
Yeah, we always want to hear from you, and there's a number of ways you can reach out, and we encourage you to reach out. First of those is our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com, or
you can reach out through our website, cosplaystitchandseam.com. We have a contact page on there, or
go to our Discord page. I'm just going to promote that one exclusively now, if that's okay with the two of you.
Yeah.
If you want a great active community that's not too active but wants to be there with you and build you up and see what you're working on, go to our Discord. You can find the link on our website, which is in the podcast episode description. We have some great people who want to see what you're working on while you're on the internet. If you want to support the show, we have many different ways that you can do that. Share the podcast with a friend. It's the easiest. It's the cheapest. Leave us a review. That helps the algorithm gods shine their lights upon our podcast. And of course, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/cosplay stitch. For $3 a month, you get a shout out on the show every single episode. And for $5 a month, you can join our Cosplay Chronicles. Wow. Been so long. It feels so right.
Feels so good.
We are in a training montage right now at the time of this recording.
I'm failing it.
And I cannot wait for our next session. I've got so many plans. I got so many little ideas. So if you enjoy D&D and it being cosplay themed and some of your favorite nerds on the internet, come hang out with us over there.
Absolutely. I'm there.
Yay.
Oh, wait.
Welp. Since it's been a while, we want to start off with like a check-in episode, let you know how we're doing, talk about how the world's been doing, and listen to how y'all are doing. If you want to write in at the end of the episode, we would love to hear from you. Where should we start, y'all? It's like weird but delightful getting back into it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could start on a little bit of a higher note. Like, what has been something that you've watched or seen recently that has just been hella fun?
Oh man. I have been loving this reboot of Ranma One Half on Netflix.
I
really enjoy it. I feel like they updated a lot of things so it's less problematic based on the old show. But I think they've made changes that are in a really like positive and fun way. The animation is so good, and it has all of that like 80s 90s nostalgia that you've been craving, because they didn't change the setting or like the time. It's still like set in the 80s, and yeah, really fun.
I love that. That's so
80s, baby.
Yeah. What else? I did watch the new season of Squid Game.
I still need to see that.
I'm like, I can't say much about it because there's just spoilers everywhere, and I don't want to add to the pile.
I appreciate it.
You liked it, and that's all you need to say.
What else? Oh, I started watching that Sakamoto Days, which is about this assassin, like top of his league in the Assassin's Guild, like retires and ends up owning like a little like convenience store, like corner market store, and it takes place when he's like in his like probably 40s 50s raising a kid and very retired, and it's cute. It's like a mix of slice of life and like action occasionally.
Quinn and I have been watching that one.
Yeah, it's kind of like a comedic John Wick vibe.
Yeah, I didn't think I got it until I watched the most recent episode where several assassins are coming out and they're yelling out their name, and it's like, I am the janitor assassin! You fools, you let the pizza delivery boy assassin arrive!
It's cute. It's cute. It's fun.
Very cute. Anything else?
Oh gosh. I did finally see Wicked.
What do you think?
Bug, I need to see
gorgeous.
That still.
I mean, so to be honest, like I had listened to the soundtrack tons and tons and tons when the musical came out, like back in the, what was it, early 2000s probably?
2004, I think is when it came out.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yo,
And
fun side note. I went to college for 9 years, and this year I'll be 9 years out of college.
Nice.
High five.
We all take damage.
But it was funny because I like remember the days of like all the cosplay skits where everyone was doing like either Loathing or Popular as like their OTP or their like favorite like duo, and it was very like, I don't know, I'm cringe but free nowadays. Like it was cute, like it was fun, but it was funny how like often you would see those songs in skits, and it's like now it's making a comeback because it's new for the new generation.
Yeah.
And it's not something that they've seen before. So I look forward to seeing like all the new cute stuff people do with that, and all the costumes. I could like gush about the costumes for forever because they're beautiful and incredible, and I am so excited to see people cosplay those.
I think that's a future episode idea, that's for sure.
Yeah. How about y'all? What you been watching?
I recently, I'm almost going all the way through Gravity Falls again. Partway through season 2 right now. Gosh, that I've only really watched it once, and so rewatching it, I was like Sadie will be like, "Do you remember what these actually are? Do you remember what the boy band actually is?" And I'm like, "I vaguely remember. It's been so long." And then it'll happen, and I'll be like, "I remember. Yes."
I remember the boy band, but like that's about as far as I saw in the show.
Oh, really? Oh, you didn't even get to the tone shift with season 2.
No, I didn't.
But I've been really enjoying that. I forgot how much I really love that series. Sadie also got the Book of Bill, so as soon as I'm done rewatching it, I plan on stealing that from her.
Now explain as if the audience is me and has no idea what the Book of Bill is.
Oh, Bill's the main antagonist, revealed at like the end of season 1, essentially. And he's awful and hilarious, and is just a really fun villain. Done.
Nice.
So there's a book about him that's afterwards, and
nice.
He's like a cryptid, so like it's very, like you turn pages and there's like, nonsense, weird gibberish all over the place, but secret messages, and it's just so fun. I love it. I love that kind of stuff.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Anything else I've been watching? Lots of YouTube videos. If you haven't seen these online, this is like a kind of very random thing. But if you used to enjoy, if you're old like, us, if you used to enjoy things like, America's Funniest Home Videos, Zaps are great. There's Les Zaps d'Espion. It's run by a French YouTuber. It's just a collection of videos that are funny to, oh gosh, ouch, that was a bad fail, to, whoa, that's epic, I didn't know you could see the Northern Lights this way, stuff like that. It's just a wide range of things, and they're my, they come out every couple of weeks, and I just love just sitting down and just watching what the world's up to that way. It's very cool because it's like videos from all around the world too. Like you'll get so many different languages on there, and it's very, very cool.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'd watch a similar one. It's just that like daily dose of internet occasionally, where it's just kind of like a compilation of like best of for that week.
Love that.
Nice.
And they're silly.
Yeah, I love like a good like haha, and now like I could just turn my brain off for like 10-20 minutes.
It's also really fun because you're like, which way is this video gonna go? Is this gonna be good or is this gonna be bad?
Yeah. It's a very like r/maybe vibe.
I
Yes.
appreciate that they have started putting like a spider warning before bugs in
Aw.
clips because I just no thanks.
Oh my
No
gosh.
thanks.
Yeah, what about you, David?
I have, for those of you who are longtime listeners and deep lore followers, I have my big long list of media that I've consumed. Have you guys seen Look Back?
No. What is that?
Okay, it is this hour-long movie on Amazon. It is written by the same person who wrote Chainsaw Man, and it is the story of a like fifth grader, and she's doing like the weekly manga for her school.
Oh,
And
okay.
everyone's like, "Oh man, you're the greatest. This is so good." And the teacher one day calls her aside and is like, "Hey, there's a really sick student. She doesn't come to class all that often, but she wants to add to the manga section. Would you be willing to sacrifice, like, you do 8 panels. Can you go down to 4?" And she's like, "It's not that easy, but fine." And when she gets to see this sick student, it's magnificent still lifes. And it is
Ooh.
beautiful, and she's so intimidated and mad that it just inspires her to do art. And
Ooh.
eventually they meet up and they just continue to inspire each other. It is an hour of your time, and it is 100% worth it.
That sounds super cute.
I am adding that to my list like right now.
Legitimately, when I watched it and I cried because it was just so inspiring. I felt so motivated. It was beautiful. I gave it an 11 out of 10. Like it was that good for me.
Where can you watch it?
You can watch it on Prime, and if you need to sail the 7 seas, that's
fair, right?
a good option as well. I totally understand.
Nice. That's
I
awesome.
also had just finished Castlevania Nocturne Season 2.
Oh my gosh, I need to catch up on all of that.
There were points in this that like, you know, when a lot of people watch those like high octane movies like the Fast and Furious movies or Transformers, and you're just watching it for just the spectacle of it all. There were so many moments in Castlevania where I was like, oh no! I was having a great time with it, and I might want to do a cosplay from it in the near future. But yeah, that was the fight scenes, the choreo on those, always a splendid feature. And that's I haven't had as much time to sit down and watch as much, but yeah, those are the things that I'm watching.
Nice.
I love that.
So what like we had a little bit of a longer break. What's been going on? How are we doing, fam? How are we doing?
Oh man.
I'm just gonna, throw it all out there. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and regardless of where you listeners stand on that, it's definitely been scary.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to spread like information and wariness, and most importantly, I want to keep our podcast to be where we are building a community. So please join our Discord. Be part of that community, help build each other up, because there is a lot of crappy stuff going on. I've to be open and honest with y'all, on top of the just awful political climate, and all the news of the world. It's been hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lost I'm diving right in. Sorry, guys.
You good.
I've lost 2 really good family members to, different things. One is, health stuff. The other is other kinds of health stuff. And it's been rough. But the Discord and friends and community have been, even though you guys have had no idea that I've been going through all this crap, y'all have been very helpful. And I just, want to keep this going. I want to be able to give you guys resources and things. I've got like a whole bunch of stuff ready for this episode. But I also wanted to quote, I'm going to pronounce this wrong and I apologize, but Audre Lorde, that without community, there is no liberation. In this day and age where we've got social media and, inciting news articles and false things and all this stuff flying around, it can be very big and scary, but without community, there is no liberation. And we have a good community right here. And let's keep it going. Let's not give up on it. Yeah, that's my start.
Nice. No, I think that's really important to remember. And I feel like us as cosplayers, out in the world, we take a lot of teasing from time to time about how silly and pointless our hobby is. But I feel like when it comes to things like mutual aid, like helping each other and your communities out, the things you learn from cosplay help you so much. How many people know how to sew like you do? How many people could craft a prop or something like that from scratch? And how does that translate into other ways that you can help out in the real world? I think we underestimate ourselves when it comes to that, because you could be using your skills in a whole bunch of other ways. Not to say that cosplay isn't a very worthwhile and fun way to spend your time, but those skills are useful and they're helpful and they can be an asset to the people that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can't imagine, it feels like sometimes it's a frog in a boiling pot. You slowly increase the temperature, and it would be very easy to kind of just allow the temperature to continue to boil, and just well, this is what it is. And it's scary and it's terrifying. And me personally, I've been struggling. I can't deny it. I can speak for all of us that it's been a lot on our minds of how can we step up? How do we make sure that people have safe spaces, people have opportunities to help each other? And it's hard. It's scary. I don't want to do it. I saw a TikTok of we don't have a choice. Unfortunately, we don't have a choice. We have to keep going. We have to help each other, because if we do not step up, who does?
Yeah.
And maybe we don't have the same strength that somebody else does, but maybe we inspire that person. Maybe we motivate them in new ways. And it's a lot.
Yeah. There's this is from an article from 10 years ago on The Nation. The title of the article is "No Place for Self-Pity, No Room for Fear" by Toni Morrison, who's just a wonderful, wonderful human being. If you don't know of them, and in times of dread, artists must never choose to remain silent. Now is the time to make art. Your cosplays that you're creating, it's one, when you're working on something, you're mentally healing yourself. Your heart, your mind, those things help you, but also sharing those with others, you're giving them inspiration as well. I've had a hard time trying to get myself to work on my Hyperlight Drifter cosplay. There's a lot of emotion that's going into this cosplay, even more now than before. But there was definitely a moment this month where I sat down and I was like, why am I working on this when I've lost these people that means the stuff to me? How do I keep going forward when I feel helpless? And the truth is that this art form makes me feel not helpless. It is something I can do, and it is less of a distraction and more of a putting my energy towards this and keep moving forward, even though it's really hard. And yeah. But I also want to throw out there, I appreciate, Pannon and David for being patient with me during this time. And I've been, patient with them in return, of course, because there's a lot going on. But it's like we also allow ourselves to have time to grieve, to process, to take care of yourself. You don't have to be going all the time. So take care of yourself, but also know it's okay to move forward.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to add in the vein of like creating art and doing art, and like if that's not necessarily your thing, if you're listening to this because you like maybe you just want to keep up in the cosplay scene and things like that. I don't know if that's like necessarily what we do, but like, hope that you have fun with that. But also like supporting artists so that they can continue to create, like sharing their work, even leaving like a positive comment on something that someone has done can like go way further than you might think. I don't know. I can't tell you the number of times it's like really made my day to hear from someone who's been maybe like a longtime listener and they're writing for the first time to say that like the community meant something to them, or like that even on like my old fan fiction stuff, if I get a comment from someone going like, hey, I read this and I enjoyed it, or like I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work, things like that can be like hugely motivating when you feel down. So sharing that positivity where you can is awesome because you feel good doing it and you're making someone else feel good too.
Yeah. And like, I don't know about you guys, but like the TikTok ban, all 16 minutes of it, it definitely put it kind of into perspective of like, no, this is like, there are so many different spaces for communities as well, and within those spaces there could be subspaces. It's like any convention we go to, there's always going to be the big cosplay community group space, there's going to be the gamer space, there's going to be the artisans, there's going to be just groups within groups within groups of people who want to continue to support, and there's oftentimes more of an overlap than it is a Venn diagram.
Yes.
And
I like that.
It's definitely helped.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, David.
Okay. It's helped me like realize like, nah, screw it. Like just sending out the love. I said this in our Cosplay Chronicles game one time, and it's something that I truly believe. There, people say that there is no cost at being nice. Doesn't hurt to be kind, but there is a cost. It's a cost of your time. It's a cost of your spoons. It's a cost of your effort and energy, and maybe even financially. But the thing that we have to be aware of is that we are making an investment in not only ourselves. We're making a habit of doing a kind thing, but we are investing in the future of somebody else by providing that nice comment. So I have been just throwing them out there of like, love this cosplay. Hey, I think you're really cool. Hey, how can we collaborate? I know I'm sorry for Pannon because you follow me on TikTok, and I've been making so many TikToks lately.
No, it's great. I love that you're doing TikToks lately that are like, hey, listen to The Last Voice, but also like if this is like something that you like in a podcast, here's one that really like meant a lot to me or that I enjoyed that was similar. And so I've got even new recommendations on my list that I'm like, oh, I have to check these out, or like listening to your feedback and like thoughts on like Welcome to Night Vale. I was like, oh yeah, I agree with that, or like, oh, maybe not, but like, that's an interesting take. It's been a lot of fun.
Pannon, wow.
No, I I'll chat with you about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think it's really good to like artists support artists. We had that saying going around for a while of like, girls support girls, but I think it goes for like every community. Like we support each other and we build each other up, and that's how we get better.
That's why I love doing the episodes where we like overlap with a different thing that's not cosplay, where we've looked at other fandoms essentially, like my dad and the car shows, and just seeing that like this passion runs everywhere. This artist feeling is all out there, and building community. Like we've got online communities, and then there's also like, check out your local ones too. Libraries are freaking amazing.
And free.
And free. Yes, and you can get out there and just like meet other people, and building that sense of community in person as well as online. Show your support that way, even if it's just, I just showed up once, I didn't talk to anybody, and I went back home.
Mm-hmm.
And it took you months to get there. I'm proud of you if that's what you did, okay? Even if you're like, I took a step outside and then I went back in. It's all good. It's all good.
Nice.
Why would you blast me like this? Like, I am right.
I love you, David. Yeah. I've got another little quote from this article by Tony. She says, I'm staring out the window in an extremely dark mood, feeling helpless. Then a fellow artist, calls to wish me happy holidays. He asks, how are you? And instead of, oh, fine, and you? I blurt out the truth. Not well. Not only am I depressed, I can't seem to work, to write. It's as though I'm paralyzed, unable to write anything more than in the novel I've begun. I've never felt this way before, but the election... I'm about to explain with further detail when he interrupts, shouting, No. This is precisely the time when artists go to work. Not when everything's fine, but in times of dread. That's our job. Yeah. So whoever that friend was, bless him.
Yeah.
Yeah, now's the time to make art. I love it.
Yeah. No, but like being an example, like the person in your quote, like being that person who's listening, you people listening at home who've been following us, like that is also a support for us to know that someone's out there hearing and like sympathizing or relating to what we're saying is also like so helpful, just to know that like someone's out there that feels the same.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Also, it's a huge ego boost for me. Like I'm just so excited. Like, do you guys see the numbers? Oh my gosh, the numbers. I love it when the numbers go up, you guys.
So on that note, David, how have you been this last little bit?
Before we jump into that really quick.
I'm sorry.
Everybody
Sorry,
take
David.
a deep breath. Take a deep breath and gently stretch your shoulders.
Oh, I was in the shrimp position.
Hey, don't call me out like that too.
See, I'm prepared today. Yeah, even listeners, do the same thing. Take a deep breath, gently stretch your shoulders.
What is this, LeVar Burton Reads?
Hey, I love you. Okay, David, go.
Okay.
Thank you.
I am doing well, to answer your question from earlier. My partner and I are moving.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I want to go to school.
It is very cool. It's very pretty. It's very, very lush and green and a lot closer to sea level than we are now, which will be good for my body and my chronic pain.
Yay!
And there's just a little bit of different opportunities out there that I wanted to take advantage of. And so that has been my life for the past little while. And I have been working on audiobooks again. I just got some notes back from a 24-hour-long audiobook that I'm working on. It's a cool high fantasy, think Harry Potter, but with assassins and dark forbidden magic.
Nice.
And cannibals.
Sick.
So, you know.
What?
I'm so there.
Yeah. So, you know, I'll
Cannons are for the cannibals.
that was the selling point.
Yeah.
Season 4 of The Last Voice is all written up for draft 1. So
Yay!
And then I've
That's exciting.
It is very, very exciting, and I'm very, very anxious about it. And yeah, so that is all my life is getting ready for this move. I got to go to Scotland again and spend some time with my boyfriend.
Yay!
Quinn's been a true delight, treasure, and support because he's not American, so he gets to have like, tell me more about this, and I get to like I pause it, and it feels great.
Yes.
Yeah, Quinn.
Yeah. But then I've also been just trying to make sure that I've been taking care of myself, taking care of my people, being present when necessary, being, just a voice for people who need it. And yeah, it's been really good. It's been nice and chill and scary all at the same time.
Nice.
What about you, Pan? What have you been up to?
Oh man. So last fall I decided to go back to school. I think I mentioned it like a little bit before our hiatus.
Yeah.
But that's been taking like most of my energy. I'm going to school specifically for fashion.
Woo-hoo.
Because I mean it was a little bit of an ego boost to like go there and show like things I had made from cosplay, and to hear the teachers go like, well, there's not a whole lot we can teach you. But that was a lie. That was a lie. I took even the beginner classes. I was like, oh, here's some things I didn't know. And I don't know, it's been really exciting and interesting to go back through that and like learn the quote unquote correct ways to do things. And not just like the correct way, but like why they're done that way. And then to have other teachers who are like, well, forget all that and do it this way or do it another way. And like my embellishments teacher this semester is just like, I don't teach beginning sewing because I take all these shortcuts and it's still fine because it looks good in the end. And I was like, cool. So
here's the shortcuts and here's how it works better for all of us.
Yeah, well, and like I think there's a lot to that where she's like, I don't necessarily care like how it was done. I mean, I want to know how it was done so I can do it later. But like I want to know if it like looks interesting. Is it like fun? Is it like pushing you to learn new things? And if it's doing those, then there's a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah.
Know the rules so you can break them and all that stuff.
I'm so excited for you, dude.
Thank you. I did put out like my first mini collection that was all Sailor Moon inspired stuff.
It's so cool.
So if you follow me on any of my socials, I posted like a little teaser video, and I hope to post some like photos from the shoot I did for it. And then I also got selected to do a piece for one of the local museums here in Salt Lake. It is up until February 7th. If you can go to the Leonardo, you can check it out. I did a piece that was like inspired by 1900s fashion. And
it's super pretty, guys.
Thank you. It'll be at one of the Salt Lake Community College campuses when we take it down on the 8th. And then this new semester, I got chosen for like a small like invite only class, which I was really excited about. But we are doing the costumes for a small theatrical production, and we each get to like pick a different like basically Shakespeare play and dress 5 or 6 actors for that throughout the semester. So I got Midsummer Night's Dream, and we're doing the play within a play at the very end. So I'm dressing everyone for this very like campy, satirical version of Shakespeare's plays within one of Shakespeare's plays. And I was like, you know what's fun and campy and satirical and whatnot? I was like, drag. I'm gonna do them all in like drag queens outfits. And
heck yeah.
the director was like, I have always wanted to do drag, and I was like, cool. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Fantastic.
So I'm doing like Shakespearean drag for those actors. So I'm really excited about that. And then I have there's like a fashion parade floats and things that are going to be going on in May at our International Peace Gardens here in Salt Lake. And I get to design like a May Queen kind of outfit. And no, I'm not doing Midsummer, but but I have to include flowers in the dress, and that's going to be fun. So obviously I'm staying very busy.
Mhm.
Busy bee.
It has, I don't know, helped me to like, I wouldn't say force me to do art, but has like pressured me to be more creative and like actually have a schedule and a timeline for things,
Nice.
which is what helps me get things done.
I don't get things done unless there's a deadline usually.
Right.
And even then it's like, oh, it's the day before the deadline. Ah!
Right.
First draft, best draft. What do you want from me?
Let's see. So for me, like I listen to a lot of like audiobooks and podcasts while I'm sewing or crafting. So if you guys have like recommendations for things to listen to, I've been trying to actually pick things that are on the banned book list.
Nice.
To give myself
I
a
love
chance
that.
to like read and look at like different pieces of media, and learn about like why they are important. And the last couple ones I've read, let's see, there's one called The Parable of the Sower, which is pretty heavy in its themes, but it's very like relatable to today. Some people like it was written in like the 80s, 70s era, and some people have told the author that it almost seems like she's prophetic in like how close it mirrors a lot of the climate today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely worth listening to and learning from. And then, okay, one of my favorite authors of all time is Ray Bradbury.
Oh, heck yes.
Aesthetic.
So, like, I remember back in elementary school reading Fahrenheit 451, and I feel like it hits a lot differently if you read it as an adult. So I would suggest that.
Absolutely.
But also, I also love like the Martian Chronicles because it's like a sci-fi imagining of our future too.
Also, Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh, that one's great too.
That one was one of my favorites in elementary.
Yes. So yeah, that's school has been occupying like probably 90% of my free time and some of my not free time. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. And then playing a little bit of video games and things like that. And watching TikTok.
Oh, so much TikTok.
And Red Note.
Oh, you got a Red Note?
I do have a Red Note.
Oh, man.
I have a Red Note. I have a Blue Sky. I have like all. I'm just panning on all of those. So just on whatever alternative social media you're using, look for Pannin, and I'm probably there.
Pannin. I'm working on.
Yeah, I feel like it's important. No, you're good. I was going to say, I feel like it's important to get your news from a lot of different sources lately, especially lately. So even like taking things outside of social media and like following different news, actual websites, looking at those and things like that is helpful, especially in like not spreading misinformation.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, typing for half a second.
You're good. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to.
I love that. It's good to hear that we're all like kind of keeping on. Did we cover Mercedes? Did you?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, Mercedes, what are you doing?
Yeah. 1 second. I'm looking up something really quick.
I'll vamp for a second. Yeah, I love that. Like, hey, the continuing education thing is not my bag. I am very proud of you, Pannin. I worked at a university.
I did too.
And the number one piece of advice I'd always give to a student of like, hey, what advice would you give me as somebody who's going into school? My advice is always quit. Like, just higher education. It's the worst. I think it's a scam. But for the people who like legitimately are actively trying to better themselves and learn, and I think it's good. I think a lot of people like go into higher ed because they like, it's what I'm supposed to do, or this is just kind of the path that's next. It's for the people who are like, no, but I want to do better. I want to learn. So yeah.
No, for real. And I think part of why I wanted to go back was because learning skills and trades are really important these days. And I am actually like really excited because what I have learned, I've like consolidated into like different like books and binders. And I'm excited to be able to like share that knowledge with others so that like whether or not someone goes to school, they can still have that same knowledge and make sure that like that knowledge isn't getting lost.
I will have to link it later. It was mentioned in one of the YouTube sponsors, that one of the many various YouTubers that I've been watching, but there's a site somewhere out there. I cannot remember the name of it, and I cannot seem to find it right now because I'm probably looking up the wrong search terms. But there's a site out there that takes all the different news sources and shows like what way they lean, as well as like what articles they focused on, which ones they didn't focus on.
Oh, cool.
It's very cool. I've been meaning to, I think it's like you have to do like a paid account kind of thing, and I've been working on trying to find it again. But yeah, if I see that, I'll post it in like the Discord or something.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I also cannot think of the name for it.
I know,
Nice.
it's like right there.
Ground News. That's what it is.
Ground News?
Ground
Nice.
News.
Thank you, Ground News. It's super awesome. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Pam.
Oh, no, you're okay. The last thing I wanted to mention was that recently on TikTok, if you're still on there, they've started doing this thing called TikTok Hillman University, started by Professor Dr. Hillman, who wanted to kind of like share her teaching expertise in a format where you don't necessarily have to be at a university to be able to learn with her. And I think hers was Sociology 101. I could be wrong. But because of her, now all these other professors and creators and experts in their field are like, oh, I'm going to share this too. And so they're all linking to these like tutorial videos and like classroom lectures that they're doing and linking them all to this like TikTok Hillman University. So if you want to get like that like college education but don't have the money for it, people are working really hard to make it available to you wherever you're at.
You could also look at different schools, and sometimes they have free courses as well.
Nice.
Yeah. My mom actually recently sent me a few from the university, one of the ones in Alaska that she's working at. She's like, oh, check out all these classes. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So,
That's super cool.
Yeah.
You-
So
What's been up with you, Mercedes?
what's been up with me?
What you been up to?
Mostly work.
I love hearing about your students.
Oh my gosh, they are the most amazing kids. Like, they are the most amazing kids in the whole like wide world. I adore each and every one of them. I'm helping mentor a student in cosplay for their final project, for like a capstone project at their high school, which is super fun. That's been very, very cool to do. I'm super honored that they reached out for me to do that. It's been really fun seeing their progress. And then I'm also teaching, like wrapping up a retro games class. We're making asteroids. The kids are proud of being trolls. We've talked about being kind on the internet with them. But they do love pranking me. And then my older students were doing a narrative games class that just started, and
Cool.
that class has been so healing for me. Like, I love talking about stories and games, and like we've been playing some really good stuff in there. If you haven't tried this game, by the way, recommendation. It takes like an hour and a half to play. Astra's Garden on itch.
I legit thought you were going to troll me just then. If you've not played it before, it's pretty good. It's called Sky.
Oh, yes. I haven't touched Sky in a month, okay? I'm gonna probably start again today, but
I have PTSD from Sky.
I didn't bring it up this time, though, David. You did. But also, yes, you should play. That's a very good community. You can now dye clothes in it.
Cute.
That's why I want to hop back on today. But yeah, Astro's Garden's really cute. Just a very cute little like garden sim, but also visual novel, and has a couple of deep themes in it that was really good. My students had a very good discussion on it, and I'm very, very proud of them for catching the things that I was hoping that they would catch about like the game mechanics and how it corresponded with the story. It was very, very beautiful.
Nice.
But yeah, and then I've got this thing called Design Fridays that I've been doing, and just have a good group of kids that come every week. We're just one of my coworkers described it as it's like a cafe, like a chill cafe where you just go in and hang out and work on art. And I'm like, you know what? I love this. I love this so much. So I play music and just chill lo-fi stuff, and everyone's just working on things, and sometimes I'll turn the music off because we can hear the open studio playing at the same time, and we'll listen to the kids rocking out on their guitars.
That's
Cute.
It's so sick. I love it. Yeah, that's been you know, what a lot of my time's been put into. I am very close to finishing my cloak for Hyperlight Drifter, and Hyperlight Breaker early access just came out.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
Except it only
surprised we
works
got
on-
you on the books. Like, I imagined you were going to be consumed by that one.
It doesn't work on my laptop, which is a Mac.
Oh,
Aw.
Yes, so I have to talk to Chris and be like, "Can I install another game on your computer?" My computer's not totally set up yet, but yeah, but I have been watching a lot of playthroughs of it to get inspiration for the Drifter, which has helped a lot. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Because they happen around the same-ish time frame-ish. They're not so far apart that like the clothing styles would be different.
nice.
So I've been able to be like, ooh, I love those boots. I want to pull that inspiration there. And oh, so that's how the swords look. Pull inspiration from there.
Nice.
Yeah, the Drifter is really going to be my first like competition piece where it's less screen accurate and more like what my interpretation of the character is. So that's also making me nervous.
Fair.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Nice.
Yeah. Just really focusing on like, what I've, what I actually have power over, my classes, my students, giving them a good space, sharing stories, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Have you heard or have played VFire, a video game called Mouthwashing?
What?
I keep hearing about this one.
Okay, it's not.
What?
It's. Oh man, how do I describe this game?
I know it's a more mature game.
It is a very mature game. It is not something that I recommend you take to Spy Hop, but I was very curious if you had it.
Kids don't play this.
Yeah,
it sounds like the title alone.
It's when they say mouthwashing, they do talk about mouthwash, like the actual mouthwash. The premise of the game, and it's like a 2-hour game, is you are crash landed in a space freighter, and you are trying to survive, and it's psychological horror. It's upsetting. The visuals are upsetting. Quinn said they weren't jump scares, but I got jump scared quite a few times. So our definitions of that is very different. And I was just very curious of like, if you've played this, I would love to know like what your take is on these specific themes. It is not a pleasant game. But if you are in psychological horror appreciation mode, that is definitely one I'd recommend. $12 for like 2 hours a game. Little over expensive. Wait for a sale, in my opinion, but yeah.
All right. I will look into that. I'm so bad with scary games, but you've intrigued me.
We could do a let's play. And you can watch me play it, and I could just like go, nope, I can't look at this moment, because now I know which parts not to look at.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll figure something out. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I like this.
Anything else that we wanted to touch on as we get to the end of our episode, for our first one coming back in a while?
Yeah. I want to quickly throw out there that like this last little bit of advice, this is one that was sent in an email to my coworkers, that like you do have power at this time. It definitely feels powerless, but whenever you don't feel that way, just remember that you do have power to tell your stories, to act with dignity, purpose, and care, to connect authentically. Like, you can still connect with people out there, and we want to connect with you. That's why we're still like, let's do this. To bridge and build, to hope and to change. Not all of your power has been taken away. And 3 things to steady yourself. Whatever you're feeling unsteady, ground yourself for a moment. Write down one thing that gives you strength. Post it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. That one thing that gives you strength. Just put it on a sticky note, put it on the mirror, write it on the mirror. I don't know. Whether it's a community that you trust that shows up for each other, a skill that you bring to, yourself or the people around you, a lesson from someone you look up to, write it down and put it somewhere where you'll see it every day. And then number 2, focus on your sphere of control. What's one thing you can decide, do, or influence? This is where you do have agency. You do have spheres of control. And even if they may seem small at first, those are yours. And number 3, learn from the past you. You've overcome stuff before. You can do it again. When you didn't know where to turn, didn't know what to do, sorry, who did you turn to? Where did you turn to? And finally, when in doubt, give yourself grace. It's seriously okay to not be okay. It's okay to not know what to do. It's okay to pause, catch your breath, move slowly. When in doubt, give yourself grace. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, I wanted you guys to know that.
Yeah.
Also, we'll have bonus things if anyone needs information on like immigration and your rights and all that kind of stuff. We'll have that downloadable through a link stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
There'll be a link for that. We care about y'all. Know that there's things you still have control of.
We want all of our listeners to stay safe and to help those that they can to stay safe as well. So the better informed you are, the better you'll be able to help.
Mm-hmm. And no matter what you think, you will be missed tomorrow if something were to happen. We miss you. We would miss you. Your loved ones would miss you. And we are all in this together. We are all supporting each other. This is scary. It's hard. And we've got each other's backs. You've got 3 people right here who are rooting you on no matter who you are, because that's what a community does. We'll have feedback. Trust me, Panon and VFire definitely have some really great experience at giving feedback. I'm not so good at that. I'm the hype man. I just go, yeah, let's go. And VFire and Panon are like, yeah, that's really good. Also, are you open to feedback? Because this might be a good place to teach something. Not something so brutal. Again, I'm not experienced in it. I'm not giving you feedback. David rambles. Yeah. But we take care of each other and know that you are loved, and we all aspire to be more like each other every day.
Yeah. And if you need a listening ear, there's a number of ways you can get in touch with us. And I don't say this just to throw it out and whatever at the end of each episode. I really mean if you guys want to reach out, we're here. Our email is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com.
Or you can use our contact page on our website at cosplaystitchandseam.com, or
go to our Discord. While you're on our website, you can find the link to our show or our Discord server. It's got a community of people who want to know what's going on, a community of people who are there to hype you up. If you just want to see some cute pets or crafting partners, there's a whole channel just for something like that. There's also an opportunity for you to share your work in progress. Maybe you want to give some hypes. feeling inspired to give some love, there's a work in progress. There's a finished Friday. There's even a chance for you to promote yourself. Are you going live on Twitch? Did you create something really cool that's not necessarily even cosplay related and you want a little more traction? Go ahead, post it there. You've got my blessing. As long as it's not to anything that's not, untoward. We want to see what you're working on. We want to see where your passions lie as well.
Mm-hmm.
So take care of yourselves.
I love seeing all the cool stuff. I've learned a couple of new things too, just by like talking with people and being like, oh, hey, that's actually really dope. I want to try that.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Shout out to Macy Roberts for the use of her music as our theme song, which has always been amazing.
Love you, Macy.
Yeah, and big thanks to David for always doing Faye's amazing editing. How are all your other podcasts going?
They are going great. Cosplay. I'm out of practice on this one. Sorry, David. Legitimately, I have to sort my brain for a moment. They are going so great. Comic Trades Monthly is continuing on. We have covered some really great comic books in the time. Recently, we covered N.K. Jemison's Far Sector. If you're an N.K. Jemisin fan, and if you enjoy Green Lantern, and you enjoy nerdy, sassy characters, I highly recommend Far Sector. And The Last Voice, Season 4's draft is written. I am working with some other writers right now. I am working on getting this as great as we can be, because like I said, there's only 5 seasons in total, so this is the penultimate season. So getting real.
Also, I love the word penultimate.
Isn't it such a good word?
It's such a good word.
I love it. So go check out those podcasts. That would mean a lot to me. Also, I've been doing TikToks about audio dramas, so if you want audio drama stuff, you can follow me on my TikTok.
Booyah!
What's the TikTok?
Oh, it's at Crest Sphinx. You know it's me because I go, hi, I'm Crest, and I do something silly every single time.
Yes.
I just real quick, I found another one called Breaker Whiskey, and somebody recommended it. This sounds like Breaker Whiskey. The last voice sounds like this. And I was like, what is this? And I started listening to it. I was like, this is the exact same show. And they are vastly different, but they feel so very similar. And I was just like, I felt like, ooh, who inspired whom? Where, ooh, this person's creative thinking is so similar to mine, but they went in a different direction that I love. And yeah, legitimately nice. Breaker Whiskey. That's my recommendation for today.
That's awesome.
So I accidentally swallowed some food coloring.
Uh-oh.
The doctor said I'll be fine, but I feel like I've died a little inside. See you guys next time.
Bye. Did you think I forgot to include the patrons? No, of course not. Of course not. That would be silly of me. How dare you assume that I have forgotten you, the patrons? It just didn't happen in the flow, so I'm just coming in post to tell all of the amazing people, thank you for your support on our Patreon, patreon.com/cosplaystitch. Some of the amazing people that we need to thank are Cloven Creature, Rain Mice, Jack S, Cynthia Eve, Starfetcher, Yggdrasil, Dr. Steggy, Cynics, Jazzy Kofed, Gloria Shu, and Silver Deeds. Deeds. All right, now out of here for real.
But I know you guys will be fine on that. But I just wanted to quickly preface that, mostly to remind myself.
Listen, if we are hateful around Panon, I feel like we have failed.
Oh my gosh.
I know, Panon's just so nice. It's just easy to be really nice.
Yeah, really just, Panon's so inspiring.
I don't know where this is coming from.
This is why you can't be late to the podcast, Panon. We just keep up against you.
Oh my gosh. All right.